We're joined now by Dr. Brett Carver, our wheat geneticist here at OSU. And Brett, this variety was released earlier this year and one we're really excited about.
Oh yes, I'm very excited about it. It was in the making for quite some time, as we normally say for wheat breeding, but it was worth it. And used a name that just has a good meaning, you know, and it's not about cotton. It's not about being tall, as we can see by this variety. It's quite short, and that's one of the telling characteristics of it. We can get that yield up with high cotton, but not have to worry about the height being too high and therefore lodging on us. So good straw strength. It really works all across the state of Oklahoma under grazing, under just grain only, intensive management type conditions. So a very wide-reaching variety.
And let's talk about the parents a little bit and some of the background about this variety as people learn more about it.
Yeah, and that's something I have learned as I prepared the release material on it, is I didn't realize just how much Pioneer, the former Pioneer program, was prominent in the pedigree of high cotton. One variety stood out to me, the old variety 2180. I remember when I first started here at Oklahoma State University, we talked about 2180. A lot of people grew it. It's a really good variety, good short variety, and it's the linchpin of this high cotton variety. But as a great grandparent, it's way back in the parentage. We also brought in some germplasm from Turkey, the CIMMIT program at Turkey, that International Wheat Breeding Program. First time I've been able to do that. And also we have Ruby Lee to finish out the package.
Ruby Lee's been around a while too, right?
Sure has, and now we're starting to see some of Ruby Lee's descendants.
This, as we've talked about, also has a bit of a dual personality.
Yes, it does, and we often don't get this kind of combination. We talk about grazability being a really important part of our genetics, and it still is. But we also like to have that high yield ceiling. In other words, it can reach for the stars for yield, and it can do both. So it has that dual personality. You can graze it hard, or if you really want to baby it and just get the most yield out of it, it will respond to those conditions quite well.
You have lots of varieties here, some released, some you're looking at releasing in the future. So let's take a look at some of those others you have your eye on.
All right, let's do.
So this one right here, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of numbers in it, but that just means we've spent a lot of effort on it. And this is an improvement upon Smith's Gold. How did we improve it? Well, the number one way was to bring in barley yellow dwarf resistance. It's the same kind of resistance that we have featured in the variety Uncharted that we've talked about on this show and is now out in production. And that's a special kind of resistance. This is the kind of genetic package that you won't see barley yellow dwarf on this variety and on Uncharted. So the canopy stays green and green for long. It also has some other disease resistances. So it's a good disease package, but it's basically Smith's Gold plus an amped up disease package with one extra thing, and that is Hessian fly resistance, which is becoming more and more important. We're hearing more about it now, especially to our south in Texas. This line has held up to Hessian fly here in Oklahoma and to the new biotype in Texas. That's really important moving forward. We need more of that kind of resistance.
We have one more we want to talk about this week. I'm just going to step backwards, and it's this one. Tell us about it.
Yes, this started out as a cooperative effort with Pioneer, Corteva now as we call it, and Pioneer made some double haploids. I say some, in the neighborhood of 3,000 from our germplasm back in 2013, somewhere in there. And of those 3,000 double haploids, which are like immediate inbreds, we have one left over. And this one is not just special because it's not the only one. It is special because it can do the same things we talk about as Butlers Gold can do. This is a fast maturing variety. And so we want to see how it might be used, not just in conventional grain only production or even dual purpose. I want to see how it's used when it's planted late, and I mean really late. Late November, early December, like we would normally in north central Oklahoma, not normally, but abnormally in north central Oklahoma. And that allows us maybe to control some weeds. Maybe it allows us to have a second chance on a crop if we lose the first one. Heaven forbid if that's to happen, but at least we have a second chance with this. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because Butlers Gold is really good for that kind of situation, but I don't think it tillers as much in the spring as it could. And we want something that really tillers in the spring, and that's what this variety will do, but still finish fast. Another Gallagher derivative. So we see Gallagher more and more in our program now.
Thanks for giving us a little bit of an overview of the varieties you're keeping an eye on, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Great.